Welcome, everyone, to a little bit of light awaiting Moshiach. Actually, we can say welcome back. It's been a while since we've had this, since we've gotten together for this. And I want to get back to what we had been discussing before Pesach. And we were going through the words of the writings of the Chavetz Chaim in his work, Tzipis Yeshua, where the Chavetz Chaim was addressing a question of how he saw already in his times, which we mentioned is late 19th century, early 20th century, how people seem to have stopped believing in Mashiach because of all the suffering that we go through, and how people were feeling that because of the fact that there was so much abandonment of Torah within Jews who had been Torah observant, whose parents and grandparents had been Torah observant, there was a lot of abandonment of that going on. That because of that, even those that were loyal were giving up hope from Mashiach in the sense of how can we be worthy of Hashem's mercy if this is the state that we're in? Then the Chavetz Chaim was dealing with a question of how we find sources that say the generation which Mashiach will come will be a very righteous generation. And then you have sources that say the generation when Mashiach comes will not be a righteous generation. And the Chavetz Chaim dealt with that question by saying that both are true. That the generation which Mashiach comes will have both types of people. The people who are under all that duress, spiritual duress, all those challenges, and remain loyal, their merit will be a tremendous merit for bringing Mashiach. And those who will be unfaithful to the Torah, those who will not remain loyal, will also be a cause for Mashiach to come, because when Mashiach needs to be here, because the Jewish people are bleeding, as the Chavetz Chaim said, in earlier generations where people were Torah observant, the point of delaying the coming of Mashiach was a means of actually creating more merits and more rewards for the Jewish people for their waiting for Mashiach to come, because they want what Mashiach brings, the closeness and connection to Hashem that comes from that. And when they wait for that more and it doesn't come, that actually creates reward. That creates more reward for the Jewish people. But if the situation comes that without Mashiach, Torah will be forgotten. Parents will not be able to transmit Torah to the next generation, which means Torah can be lost. Then Mashiach needs to come. Mashiach needs to come. Then that is a reason for him to come. And therefore, the difficult situation that the Jewish people find themselves in those times, says the Chavetz Chaim, is more of a reason to anticipate and to hope for the coming of Mashiach. Because of, on one side, the tremendous merits for Hashem's mercy, and number two, for the tremendous need for Mashiach to come and to, so to speak, stop the bleeding. And I was thinking as to whether, how much can we apply this to our situation nowadays? Does what the Chavetz Chaim do the Chavetz Chaim's words apply to our situation nowadays? And I was thinking that may not be the exact same situation, but definitely a very similar one. And for two reasons. That it is true that, as been pointed out by many, there are more people studying Torah, there are more people being observant than before, at least within the Orthodox community. The Orthodox community has grown to a very large degree. There is so much Torah going on, so much chesed, kindness going on. But at the same time, there is something that is eating at the fabric of Torah Judaism, and that is the materialism of our culture, the materialism of Western culture is something that eats away at the fabric of Torah Judaism, because the more materialistic we are, the less holy we are, the more mundane we are, and the more disconnected we become from the sanctity of the Torah. The more we want to engage in materialism, the less we want to engage in Torah and mitzvahs. And our access, the availability that we have nowadays is unprecedented. All it takes is a computer and a key. Amazon will deliver anything you want, and the access to really serious problematic materialism is also very, very available. And all this eats away at the fabric of our Torah lives. So we do face some very difficult dangers to our Torah way of life. And the more the generations go on, the more it gets. Now, yes, there are wonderful organizations and wonderful efforts for people to use the computers properly, use internet properly, and to teach people to be more holy. These are all wonderful things and important things. And the people who remain loyal in the face of all of this will have tremendous merit. The same merit that those that the Chavetz Chaim spoke about who remain loyal under their difficult situations, they are the merit for bringing. Those who remain loyal under these spiritual dangers of materialism also create that merit for the coming of Mashiach. Then there's another angle, and I just need to get my computer for this. I forgot to bring it here before. And that is that we may make an argument and say that there is make an argument and say, and much of it is true, that within the Torah observant community, there's never been so much learning, there's tremendous growth. But at the same time, we can't forget there are many Jews who do not at all fit within that kind of description. It is very unfortunate that we have many Jews who we're losing. We're losing them to intermarriage. We're losing them to, the lack of connection that they've ever had to Judaism. I have in front of me here something from the this is from the Pew Research Center, and it talks about Jewish Americans in 2020. And this is a section of marriage, families, children. And they write here about 2/3 of United States Jewish adults are either married or living with a partner. Among those who are married, many have spouses who are not Jewish. Fully 42% of all currently married Jewish respondents indicate they have a non-Jewish spouse. Among those who have gotten married since 2010, 61% are intermarried. Okay, then they write, the survey finds that among married Jews who are currently parents of minor children in their household, those who have a Jewish spouse are far more likely than those who are intermarried to say they're raising their children as Jewish by religion. And among married Jews overall, those who are intermarried are less likely than those with a Jewish spouse to say it is very important to them that their potential grandchildren be Jewish. Now, they bring down some other interesting ideas where it appears that the offspring of intermarriages have become increasingly likely to identify as Jewish in adulthood, which is a good sign, but at the same time, we can see how much as Klal Yisrael, as the Jewish people as a whole, how much we're losing. So if you want to talk about a need for Mashiach to come, because of the fact we, the Jewish people, are bleeding, then all we have to look at is the dangers that face those who are non-observant, the danger of intermarriage, the danger of so many different things because they lack connection. And here too, there are people who are Bali Tshuva, they have come back and are returning, which is a tremendous merit on their part, and a merit again for being loyal and being close to Hashem in all these difficult situations. You've got the people who work in Kirov trying to bring these people back. Again, a tremendous merit, a tremendous that's going on. And here too, I think we can say both have the merits that the Chavetz Chaim was talking about. Those who are trying to deal with this question, with this problem of Jews being lost to their Jewish roots. Those who are working to try to curb it at some level and putting their heart and soul into it have a tremendous merit. And those who return have a tremendous merit, who pull themselves out of that. But these are all things, but at the same time, we realize how much of a need and a danger there is. The Jewish people are bleeding as a whole. And if you want to talk about a need for Mashiach to come, that's a need for Mashiach to come. And therefore, even if our situation is not exactly what the Chavetz Chaim is talking about, the principles are there. There are those who have the tremendous merits under all the duress and dangers and challenges to our Judaism, our Torah Judaism, to our Torah Judaism that there is, the challenges to Judaism as a whole, to Jewish people as a whole. Those who try to remain faithful and work towards that have tremendous merit because of the challenges that they face. And at the same time, because there is so much eating away at the fabric of the Jewish people and so many Jews being lost, there is a tremendous need for Mashiach to come. And therefore, we should pray for Mashiach to come and hope for Mashiach to come because we need him. We need Mashiach. And when we need Mashiach, that is more of a reason for him to come. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful Shabbos.